Good afternoon, everyone. Grant here with the Gutter Growth Podcast for you today. I've got Mr. Jeffrey Cope, the owner of Georgia Gutter Supply, and you've got some other businesses. We'll dive into that, but thanks for being here today with me.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
We've been talking about doing this for a bit, huh?
Yeah, I've been procrastinating for a while with you.
You're actually one of the very first people I tried to interview a couple of years ago. And I was like, hey, Jeff, man, we should do it. And you're like, we should, but we're not going to yet. And I'll let you know when I'm ready. And today is the day. So, man, I'm really excited about this to have you on.
Yeah.
Let's get the people to understand who Jeff is and what you're doing over there at Georgia Gutter Supply. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You're currently in Georgia. How long have you been in Georgia?
I've been in Georgia my whole life. I've been where my businesses are now about 25 years. Oddly enough, right out of high school, I started out as an electrician and found my way working for a gutter guy. And back in 2009, when everything tanked and he went under and I kind of stepped out like, well, what do I do now? The only thing I know how to do is put up gutters. So I started a business installing, and me and a helper, and that was 2009. That's where my gutter industry experience started. I guess really 5 years prior to that. So I've been in it about 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 years ago, we saw a niche of, hey, there's a lot of areas around our location here where people are having to drive an hour plus to get material, and it may be subpar material at that. So I just kind of had a dream of putting together not only just where we could get material closer to guys, but also putting together all the best components in one spot.
That's what you guys do there at Georgia Gutter Supply. So what's your base service area that you really enjoy as far as recommending people in this location come get their supplies from you?
Yeah, so brick and mortar wise in Watkinsville. We also have our location here in Eatonton. That's just a matter of whoever wants to come. We've got guys that drive as far as, the Carolinas down. And then kind of the separate side of the business, the chop and drop side, the delivery side of the business, we potentially go all over the Southeast. We've been to pretty much every southeastern state delivering gutter material or chop and drop stuff.
Yeah, or chop and drop. Talk to me a little bit about Gutter Solutions. So that is your gutter installation company.
That's right.
You've had that. What took you on that journey? You have obviously were an employee at some point with somebody.
That's right.
How did that all start, Gutter Solutions?
Yeah, that's like I said, back in 2009, I was about 5 years in running some crews for another guy, and he went under, and it was just at that point nothing else to do but 2 feet forward, start your own business. I took the one helper we had left. We had 13 guys, I think, at one time with that company, and then we dwindled down to me and a helper again, and then it was weren't getting paid for 3-4 weeks at a time. It's like, well, if I'm not gonna get paid, I might as well go do it for myself. And so we did. We did that, and that company's still going strong. We've got somewhere around 30. It fluctuates, but 30 to 32 employees, I believe. It's got full office staff, sales guys, an operations manager that does an excellent job for us, and office manager that does, So I'm there, but not. I'm not required to be there every day. I focus most of my time on the supply business now.
You've got a really great team over there. I know that. I know some of them.
We do. We've been very blessed.
Yeah, that's really cool. And you
everybody's. Yeah, we've handpicked everybody.
So this is what I found.
Okay, so you're telling me my clogged gutters caused all this? I had no idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, most homeowners don't think about their gutters until this kind of stuff happens.
Wow.
Prevent unexpected and costly damage from clogged gutters. Protect your home with One Gutter Guard, the trusted solution for gutter protection. Call us today to find out why more homeowners are choosing One Gutter Guard.
and we've got an excellent team for sure.
So let's come back over to the gutter supply. We really want to showcase that.
Yeah.
I know you just kind of got into the machine side of things, but let's talk about who you've been for the past few years and what people can depend on Georgia Gutter Supply for the most. What kind of parts?
Well, obviously, as the brick and mortar, we sell everything down to the smallest part for a 5-inch case tile, all the way up to the most specialty things. And that's where we really find ourselves. The niches of the half round, round downspout, 5-inch round, a lot of the real niche stuff like that, the burger hangers, the classic hangers, and just everything that you can dream of for a half round gutter. That's our true niche, if I had to say.
How do you recommend people go? You probably have a website where they're your brick and mortar. Can they come in? Do you have a nice showroom? Probably have some samples. Do you invite people to come on in and do business with you, or is it better to just find you online?
No, that's either way is we've got a strong team there as well, in the store, ready to help all the time. We've got lots of samples and just sales material we're ready to give out and help guys sell the jobs, not just selling material, but we supply them with the samples they need to go out and sell the jobs and stuff too.
Trying to partner with them a little bit more.
Yeah, I think coming from the install side, I have a good grasp and understanding of what it takes on that side of things. And it's been a real pleasure and blessing to be able to help people the way I wanted to be helped, but never had anybody to help me.
That's what people always recognize you as, is someone who's just a great servant of the industry. And that's how me and you have stayed in contact through some of that same mission and journey. You're always a part of up and coming events. We absolutely have always been very grateful for your presence in the gutter growth, just supporting that, as well as now in the gutter summit. Talking about the gutter summit, just briefly here, what do you think about year one versus year two and just that whole situation?
Oh, it was great. Year one was a, pleasant surprise. Y'all did, killed it then. And then coming into this year, the only bad thing was a good thing. It was, I didn't get to spend much time in the classes because I was able to talk to so many people and meet so many people and just, talk gutter talk in the vendor area that I didn't get a chance to do a lot of classes. But that, like I said, it's a good, bad thing. Yeah. But it was a great event again, for sure.
I appreciate that. We're really looking forward to what we can do next year. I think Georgia Gutter Supply, as you've been a leader in the industry, again, it's just that servant mindset. I've got some really cool ideas for our event next year, just because of your expertise in all aspects of the gutter business. Well, how did you feel? And I assume it was good. How did you feel about when you got to finally kind of step away from Gutter Solutions and put that, those managers, that director, your operations manager, Brandon, et cetera, in place, and kind of, you probably had to go and dream up the gutter supply side. What was that part of life like for you? Because a lot of people are teetering on that right now. Oh, I'm ready to open up supply. And I'm like, I don't know if you are.
Yeah, it's a tough transition, really. Everything you think you've been buying from suppliers for years, and you think how they operate, what their margins are, and it's a completely different world that, it's turned me upside down a few times. And you think you're going to get into it and think, oh, this will take a few $1,000s or something, and then, I won't say how much later, you're still looking back like, man, I need 5 more truckloads of this and 2 more trucks.
$500,000 of inventory on the floor constantly. And you think you're going to get it for this if you buy it like that. And then one side I've always looked at that I really respect about, the smaller distribution side, meaning not being one of these big plants, factories that manufacture and distributes, is the distribution, is understanding all the shipping and how that works, and making sure you get the products out on time. And
Right.
What you found is your biggest challenge with that side, or was your biggest challenge?
You mean on actually getting product out and stuff?
When you first were opening, yeah, what were some of those hurdles with just like, actually sending out the products?
Just having probably enough manpower to do it. I started it out just like you do with your gutter business or anything else. You're a one-man show to start with, and you're being pulled in different directions, and you want to please everybody, but you kind of have to try to figure out which way you're trying to go. And we've evolved and hired more people, and all that has really come together.
Streamlined as well too. I can see myself in my first supply, right? You said you want to please everybody. Everybody just needs one more hanger and just 3 more of these custom. I'll get them for you, and then I'm just taping and wrapping boxes 24 hours a day, and forgetting to send packages or things coming damaged, and just being like, you know what, here it is. Just go on my website and order it. And when that happens, it'll be streamlined, and then you'll get it.
That's right. Yep.
I mean, it's definitely it's not for the weak.
No,
it's not for the weak.
No, it's definitely not. But that's what we signed up for.
What would you say Georgia Gutter Supply is going to do over the next 5 to 10 years? I know you are very aware of gutter trends, marketing trends, the economy. Right. You have great situational awareness. I think you, like myself, not too worried about the gutter industry. It's here to stay. It's getting much stronger. Right. We're watching that. How's Georgia Gutter Supply positioning themselves to serve the clients over the next 5 to 10 years, maybe in a new way?
Yeah. A new way aside, I'd say like what our goals right now are. We're building, or in the process of building out, a new distribution center down here in Eatonton, Georgia, where we are now. And that will leave gateway to opening up some other satellite branches. Hopefully being able to buy more bulk, maybe even start manufacturing some things ourselves, just so we can keep the quality where we expect it to be and where we want it to be.
I know you, Georgia Gutter Supply. That is also where the chop and drop is ran out of, correct? It's not.
That's right. Solutions. That's correct. Yep, 100% out of the supply company. Yep.
How much fun are you guys having with that? Was it fun at the beginning, or I know you've got it dialed in now and you're very well known?
Yeah, it's always been kind of a fun side of the business, really, as you get to. Obviously, I'm used to being out on different job sites every day, and coming from the installation side, and being cooped up in a building all day is not fun. So getting out there and doing that, it's the fun part, but also the hard part is acquiring these new machines, and these things are just getting more and more expensive by the day. But every time you turn around, you see another shiny object, and you want to get this machine too, and you're getting yelled at, stop buying machines, can't do this anymore, you can't, so it's just a balance of always trying to figure out what's next and putting things in the right place and right position and timing and all. But it's fun.
For the listeners right now, a lot of them already know who you are. For the guys that don't, and for the ones that do, let's just give them a little refresher about your chop and drop. First question would be, what is the most popular right now in 2025 that you guys are delivering?
Yeah, it's a pretty big mix of everything, but if I had to pick two, it would definitely be the 8-inch and 6-inch half round. That's a guaranteed once a week. We're doing that somewhere.
Very nice.
Next in line would probably be 7K. You'd be surprised how many guys are. It's just not worth it buying a machine that you're going to do 2-3 jobs a year for, when we can, we've got pretty good pricing on stuff that really makes it worthwhile to not own a machine. Really. So
no, it makes perfect sense. You're going. Not everybody's going to have that scaling mindset that is in the room when you're at one of these conventions,
That's right.
or just at one of, we're out, me and you are out on the golf course. We're going to be talking some high level stuff. And it's
Yeah.
not bad on other people that maybe they're not
No.
thinking as far ahead. And they're like, look, I'm only going to do 2 or 3 7-inch jobs. I'm going to use Jeff, and Jeff delivers. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
It's great product. It makes perfect sense. And then
or they might have that mindset, and I talk to a lot of them daily about it. They've got that mindset, but they're just not there yet. And
yeah,
they might be 2 years out or 3 years out, and that's where I'm happy to fill that void for guys that are just not quite there yet. So yeah, and when we go out, we can we don't just bring you gutter with no other parts. We usually most of our guys want us to bring all the downspouts, hangers, just the whole 9 yards.
Materials from you as well. Just you're going to bring it all.
That's right. Whole job turnkey. Yep.
Now, are you finding that you're running at all for people that have no machines? Just out of curiosity, are you out there pushing a little?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty
minimums and stuff, but like you running out some 5 and 6-inch every now and then.
We are, and it's typically more local stuff for sure. And it'll be, handyman, painter,
siding
something
guy
like
or
that.
something.
Yeah, something like that, where he'll do one every 6 months or something like that, or he'll just want a 30-foot piece or something to do on the front of an apartment or something like, So it happens, but it's not near as common. Yeah.
Jeff, you got anything you foresee? I know you're a great family man and a man of faith, and I'm sure just a huge proponent in your community. And if you don't know that, we people that admire you absolutely know that. So thanks for being you. Being in the same room with you is really cool. You're such a kind person, and you're also just extremely educated about the industry. But what's going to be next? What do you think? You going to hang out in that gutter supply, chop and drop life until you're done and then go hang out with family, or you got one more thing up your sleeve?
Yeah, I've got some more stuff up my sleeve, I guess. As far as the supply company, we'll continue to branch out and just do what makes sense to do that and go where we're needed. But on the outside of that, family life, farm life is kind of a thing with us. We've got a farm that we're planning on being a blueberry farm. That's kind of my retirement plan, is to sit around and grow blueberries when I get old. But that we do a lot of kind of another business I'm in is commercial real estate. We do commercial properties and lease those out for, just tenant situations. So that's kind of something else I do on the backside that doesn't take a lot of time, but good passive income. But yeah, that's the two things outside of here, other than, like I said, and you said, family and my church life and all that is a huge thing to me. Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
without those, I wouldn't have all this. Without God and a good family at home that gets me up every day and gives me a reason to work hard. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You got to have that intent and that purpose.
Yeah.
I'm curious too, like, if you could share with us here, like, what's your biggest takeaway from going, because you are a unique person in the sense that you're a public figure in the seamless gutter industry. You're known by, what I would say are all of the top producers of gutter companies. You're known by many underneath that have obviously got to experience you at different events. But what is it like going from an installer to a business owner of a gutter business? And then there's just a lot of people daydream about that. I've been an installer most of my life. I obviously train and talk to a lot of installers. And I remember 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 18 years ago, people are like, man, I'll be cool to own a gutter business. Man, it'd be cool to own the supply company. And now here you are. But what was the big decision you had to make at some point in time in your life to just get dialed in? Maybe you were naturally dialed in, but was there a moment for you that you could share with people?
Yeah, I think it really dates back to even year one or two of the installation business. We were blessed to be here in a town where it's a resort town. There's a lot of high-end homes and a lot of high-end clients that are all, business-minded people. And I had a customer tell me early on, he said, Jeff, I'm going to tell you right now, you've got to decide when you're structuring your business, do you want to be on the job every day, or do you want to be management? Do you want to work, or do you want to be management? And you've got to decide right now. And everybody's answer is, I want to be management. But I really took that to heart and said, all right, I'm going to build this slowly but surely. I'm going to build this out to where I'm not hanging gutter all day, every day for the rest of my life. And that's what we did 16 years ago. We just slowly put the pieces together, and we always knew what the next step and goal was to get where we wanted. We didn't have gutter growth and all these mentoring things 16, 17 years ago. And it was a lot of hard, a lot of mistakes and a lot of money, lost because we just didn't know things. But we always had, that mentality of where we were headed. And I really think that would be my advice to anybody, was just plan where you're going. And don't expect it to happen overnight. It's going to take the work, but as long as you know where you're headed, it's attainable.
I want to go back 10 years. So 2015, you remember I'm trying to think where I was real quick. 2015. Okay.
Yeah.
I can place it.
Yeah.
I was here in South Florida working for a company. Business was booming.
Yeah.
Internet wasn't massive. I remember cell phone videos were still kind of being recorded a little pixely. We didn't have those 4K and 8K. What does a guy like you think about what's going on in the industry over the last 10 years? I don't think it's a bad thing. It's obviously there's a big movement and people are creating a collective and just, what's happening. You're at the events, what we're talking about. What did you think in 2015 and 10 years would be where we're at? Do you think we're behind? Want to see more or less? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, in 2015, I was, I was about 6 years into business, and had just moved into my first shop. We were probably maybe a 2,500 square foot shop at the time with 2 crews. And, I don't even know if then I saw where we are today being I knew I had goals, but I didn't know if we would be where we are here. That, the growth was just so much slower then compared to now, because we've got so many more resources. And like you said, the fast-paced internet and all that. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. For growth, it's good. For I guess quality of life sometimes, and your wife telling you to put that phone down constantly, and I'm trying to get better at that, but there's always someone wanting your ear, and trying to balance that. You got it more than I do, I'm sure. But it's
a lot too. I mean, Corey, I don't know if Corey J was able to reach out to you a couple of days ago, but he hit me up 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Hey, I need Jeffrey Coates. And, I smile right there. There is an award-winning moment for me. They're very small, the things that make my heart flutter. But here's Corey J, a man I look way up to. I'm honored to work with in our program, Mentors for Us.
Right.
Calling me about another person that I look really highly up to. And how do these guys not have their number? But I do. I've got an extensive black book for sure.
Yeah. I need to meet. We've shook hands, but I've never met him. We need to make that happen sometime.
You guys have a lot in common. So, well, hey, you guys that are listening, check out Georgia Gutter Supply. They are absolutely your go-to for chop and drop. I'll just talk really quickly here as we get ready to wrap up about the machines you do have. A lot of people are more, they like to hear things versus go search them out. So you obviously got the 8-inch half round and 6-inch. You're offering 7, 6, and 5-inch K, most likely.
5, 6, 7, and 8. Yep.
And the 8-inch K, that's right. Yep. What are you doing in the box style? European boxer?
Right now we've got 6-inch standard, 6-inch European, and we've got a 7-inch D style.
Nice.
Yep.
So
Brand new style
so
brand new style that KWM's come out with. It's using your same coil as your 7-inch K. I really love the profile. The old 7D is, to me, with the 20-inch coil, is just really tall and deep and just looks kind of awkward to me, and it's way overkill in 90% of the situations, I feel like. So this is a profile that Augustine had a machine up at Classic for years, and we were able to mimic, work with KWM and mimic that profile, and it's a really good profile.
I think it's fabulous that they were able to do that too within that 18-inch coil.
That's right.
Just
makes the coil so much easier. The 20-inch coil is pretty tough to come by for the average person. We've kind of taken that on as a niche too. Speaking of kind of niches, is when we bought that 8K machine, it was so hard to find the coils, and we've kind of put in the work and the money to be able to get a bulk of those to where we can get all the colors in, and people can actually get 8K in the colors they want.
Yeah, that's so much fun. We're looking to get into a couple different things here at Mother's as we're starting to expand, and we're in a really fun market, obviously, down here in South Florida, with all of Tim's resources for being a massive chop and drop guy for many years. So it's like, okay, So speaking of that, for the listeners, kind of what's your standard area people can expect? I'm sure you make some exception, but what's your general area you like to chop and drop? Because that's what people are really, really interested with you.
Yeah, our main areas right now are the obviously Georgia, but the neighboring states, Florida, the Carolinas, Tennessee. We haven't been to Alabama a lot. I don't know why, but
let's go to Alabama.
Yeah, let's get some Alabama jobs going. But yeah, all the way up as far as we've been up Johnsonville, Tennessee, which is about almost 6 hours from us. Last week I was down in Jacksonville, again about 6 hours. So we'll go wherever we're needed. Just like I'm sure most chop and drops work, we've got a per foot price, and then we just simply have a mileage that that we add on depending on where you're at. So that's how that works and makes sense for us. Is a lot of the further away jobs I'll do myself, just because not wanting to have to put guys up in hotels and stuff, and they don't want to. But I've got a lot of the local stuff here, 2 or 3 hours away. We've got a good team that does a lot of that local stuff for us.
Very nice. Very nice. Do you guys also ever help anybody with the install? Have you ever been asked that? I've done a lot of chopping drops.
Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah.
But only a couple of times I pulled up and, they were like, well, while you're here, or they might have negotiated during the chop and drop, Grant, while you're here for an extra fee, could you, make sure you're. Do you ever get asked that at all, or
not a whole lot? I mean, sometimes we'll have guys ask us to, maybe to miter something when it comes to some of the weird profiles. And, with every business, whether it's to install or this or any business, you've got to kind of start and stop it somewhere. And we generally don't get involved with any of the stuff outside of just simply supplying the material.
Yeah, that's about what I like to. It's usually, hey, can you hand tab this for me or something before you leave? And I have a fee for that.
That's
Otherwise,
right.
just give me the whole job. If you want me to bring this stuff and run it out and help you install it, I'll just take it off your hands.
That's right. Yep.
Jeff, man, it was an absolute pleasure, brother. I know that I'm getting ready to see you soon this fall for some golf, man. So
I'm looking forward to that. Yep, it's gonna be great. Let you come up and beat me in golf. And
it ain't gonna be me. I only post the good shots. I'm playing golf all the time, so if you see any golf, you only get to see 8 of the 163 strokes I take.
That's right. No, it's all about having fun and being with people you enjoy with. It's not about the score. So
thanks for being with us today, Jeff. If you guys
thanks
get
for
the opportunity, check out Georgia Gutter Supply online. They have like Jeff was saying, I mean, they literally have all of the parts you need, especially if you're trying to elevate up your seamless gutter business from maybe just doing that typical builder grade 5 and 6K. Georgia Gutter Ply is your man. Thank you, Jeff. We'll talk to you
All
soon.
right. Thanks. Talk to you soon. See ya.